How do you know what to believe? When considering a research question, it can be difficult to find evidence which is reliable, relevant, and valid. So where do you start? Firstly, let's examine the clinical scenario. To begin with, it is important to find the key points from the scenario. In this instance, we are examining the case of an 18-month-old girl being raised as a simultaneously bilingual child. Her mother wants to know whether hearing two languages will be confusing for the child or whether it might be beneficial towards her language development. Now that we have the key points, we can start to formulate a search strategy. When searching for evidence, one of the best techniques is to use a PICO question. A PICO question separates the clinical scenario into 4 components: population, intervention, comparison, and outcome. For this situation, our population is an 18-month-old girl. In order to find enough evidence, it is useful to generalize a little, for example, to children under 2 years of age. The intervention for this scenario is hearing 2 languages. The comparison is hearing 1 language only. The outcome we are looking for is language development. Depending on the research, this may encompass various things. Using the PICO elements, a clinical question can be constructed. For this scenario, a clinical question might be, for preschool-aged children, how is language development affected by exposure to 2 languages compared to 1 language only? To expand upon the PICO question in order to find search terms, I found synonyms for the key terms, from a medical dictionary, from a general thesaurus, and from databases and search terms used in research articles. This provides a wide range of terms to find the widest scope of information. Using these search terms, I did some preliminary searching in order to determine how effective the terms were. To improve my results, I removed the terms which were found in unprofessional papers, such as baby. The term preschool was used in a large number of irrelevant papers. By removing this term, a more focused set of results was found with the population specified by age. The term language delay differs from language development in definition, so was excluded. Other terms excluded were too general to be used in the search, such as maturity or growth. Finally, when searching using the databases, a number of tools helped to improve the yield of searches. The asterisk truncation was used to find all variations on a word. For example, develop, development, developmental, or developed. Quotation marks were used around all 2 or more word phrases to ensure words occurred in the correct context. The question mark in pediatric allows the search engine to include both the American and English spellings of the word. By combining the intervention and comparison into a single AND criteria, a wider range of articles were found. 3 databases were used to obtain evidence for this scenario. These databases were SpeechBite, Language and Linguistics, and ERIC. SpeechBite is a speech pathology database which contains detailed information on intervention techniques. All articles are rated for credibility. However, due to the amount of detail for each article, SpeechBite often contains fewer results than other search engines. Using the SpeechBite Advanced Search tool, I entered the keyword bilingual. As SpeechBite contains heavily edited articles stratified by their contents, booleans, truncations, and synonyms are usually not required here. To obtain the most relevant results, filters were adjusted to include only articles relevant to the language area of practice. Using the age filter, the most relevant option was under 2 years. This search yielded only 1 result, meaning the search needed to be broadened. The next most relevant age group would be under 5. This search returned 6 results. To increase the number of studies, the age group was broadened again to children. The search returned 7 studies. Although the search could be broadened again, it is important to balance the number of articles with the specificity of the contents. Considering that the 7 articles here were of limited relevance, I considered it counterproductive to broaden the search further. The database ERIC contains information relating to education, teaching, and child development. It uses a ProQuest search engine which looks like this. Using the search terms developed from the PICO tables, I searched for the population in the keyword field. This means that articles found by the search must be tagged with child in the keyword. This maximizes the chance of turning up highly relevant articles. The intervention, bilingualism, was searched for also in the keyword field to maximize specificity. I searched for the outcome, language, in the abstract of articles. Searching via abstract provides a balance between specificity, where articles are highly relevant, and volume, where a large number of articles are found. Searching via full text would provide a larger number of articles, but would be more likely to provide irrelevant results. The filters English only, scholarly articles only, and early childhood were applied to streamline results. This strategy returned 15 results. Linguistics and language covers all aspects of language, including phonetics, morphology, syntax, and semantics. This makes it an extremely useful tool to use in speech pathology research. Linguistics and language is also powered by ProQuest. Using the same search terms as for ERIC, as well as the filters for English only and scholarly articles only, the search returned 17 results. In order to find the best evidence, I excluded a number of articles which clearly did not meet my criteria. These included articles which did not mention bilingualism, did not include the appropriate age range, focused on non-language-based outcomes such as cognition, focused on other aspects of bilingualism, or were secondary studies or literature reviews. These articles were the ones for which the key clinical question matched or showed similarities to my PICO question. I also selected articles which had been published in a relevant journal, were recently written, and ranked highly on the NHMRC hierarchy according to the etiology hierarchy. The 5 studies of highest quality as shown here ranked from most relevant and highest NHMRC rating to lowest ranking and least relevant. Utilizing an effective search strategy helps to ensure we can provide the best evidence-based practice and the best outcomes for our clients.